honored to be able to introduce our group this morning and tell you about a great event that's going to take place tomorrow evening at Midlands Technical College, the Northeast Campus. Many of you have heard me talk before about economic development being a team sport, and certainly it is. We can't do anything by ourselves. We have to work together to make this happen. We use as I like to use the analogy because of the Gamecock success this year, the triple option, the economic development. We like to recruit new companies. We like to help the companies that are already here in Columbia to grow and be successful. And thirdly, and what we're going to talk about today and tomorrow night, is the entrepreneurial spirit that we have here in Columbia, and forming new companies and watching them grow and watching them leave the incubator and be successful on their own. And that's what we're going to celebrate today in this announcement and tomorrow evening at the graduation. And that's what we're here to tell you about. USC has always been a great member of our team, and Dr. Pastides has been with us since the beginning. He is an important part of the organization that helps the incubator and what it's trying to do, and he will be one of the principal speakers along with our Mayor Benjamin tomorrow night at the graduation. At this time, I'd like to ask Mayor Benjamin to come and make a few comments about this wonderful and exciting event.
Sure. Thank you, Jim. I'll be very brief. Looking forward to tomorrow evening. The USC Columbia Technology Incubator, I believe, is a classic example of the public-private partnerships that we need to have to move this community forward. I want to congratulate Accelerations Educational Software, Easy HR Web LLC, Hermosa Jewelry LLC, and Quintessential LLC on their graduation. We have a lot of work to do to continue to move this region forward in economic circles, and of course, working to raise the quality of life for everyone by, of course, raising our per capita incomes. Our investment in locally grown entrepreneurs and businesses can't be overstated right now. It's so important. So this is a classic example of what we need to be doing. Excited to be here and excited about joining these companies tomorrow evening. Thank you.
And of course, every good team has to have a quarterback and has a coach. And I'd like to also introduce Don Tomlin. If Don wants to say a few words, that'd be fine. But he has been the coach of the incubator team for many, many years, helped Incubator get started years ago, and has always been there to help cheer us on and make things happen that need to happen. So Don, we thank you for all your efforts. And of course, our team has to have a good quarterback, and I think we've got an All-American quarterback in Joel Stevenson, who's been running the incubator for
11 years.
11 years.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, time flies when you're having so much fun as we do helping these companies. So at this time, Joel, tell us a little bit about what's going to happen tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow night will be another one of the great events for me. A celebration. We have 4 companies that are going to graduate. Jim told you who they are. I'd like to thank Midlands Technical College for being here, one of our partners in this. We're blessed with great partners. This is a community-owned incubator. We have students from Benedict College. We have students from Columbia College. We have students from Allen University, as well as Midlands Technical College and USC that work with our companies. And we could only have one president of one of the companies here with us today because the other 3 are working. But we'll see you tomorrow night at Midlands Technical College, and I'd like to thank you and a member of our Incubator Advisory Committee, Tom Persons, the chair of our Incubator Advisory Committee, Starnell Bates. Mr. Mayor, thank you very much. Y'all, congratulations. Mr. Tomlin, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel. And these 3 companies will join the 27 companies that have already graduated from the incubator. We certainly appreciate the number of jobs and the above average, way above average salaries that they are paying the employees that work for these companies that mean so much to us in the city of Columbia and helping our city to grow. At this time, for any questions from the media, we'd be delighted to take those questions.
I saw the stats behind you. Do you know about how many jobs were created from these 4 companies that graduated?
Joel, I'll let you address that question.
Yes, about 45 from
To-
these four
total.
companies, 45 jobs.
Okay. And do you know about how much money does the city contribute to this? Is the city involved in funding this effort at all?
Well,
or-
the city has been involved with direct investments in the beginning of the incubator. City Councilman Sam Davis is just with us, who has a keen interest in what we're doing here at the incubator. We actually made contributions to the incubator in the early years of $25,000 a year.
Mhm.
We no longer make any cash contributions, but we do provide a city building that houses the incubator at 1225 Wall Street. That's our contribution. And I would just say it really is a public-private partnership, a team effort. Richland County supports the incubator, as does the City of Columbia. But most of the support comes from the private sector, which I think is what it's really all about. It's a partnership, a team effort, and I think working together, it's a little easier to make things happen, especially when you have a good coach and a good quarterback, and that's certainly what we have. Any other questions?
Mayor, are these the type of jobs that you want to attract to this area? I know you talked earlier, like a week or so ago, about these manufacturing jobs that many people try to woo, and you mentioned that you'd like to see some more.
And this is a little bit of all of the above. Knowledge economy jobs that lead, of course, to manufacturing and job creation here in the Midlands. Incubating your own businesses, supporting them locally grown, people who have not just a financial attachment, but an emotional attachment to this community is huge. So it starts with intellectual property that you can begin to commercialize, and that's what we're seeing here today. This is exactly what we need to be doing more. Thank you all.
Great. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate you coming.